Welcome to another exciting edition of Cooking with Kat. I'm Kat, and you'll be cooking with me. This is Bella, my assistant. Can you give me your paw? Good girl. She obeys things. Yeah! My family will be doing a potluck-style Thanksgiving hosted elsewhere, not at my house this year. So I will be making 3 side dishes tonight. These are the fixins for my stuffing. The ingredients for a very simple cranberry sauce. Natural, simple, not in a can. However, I did get that gelatinous bullshit that some people like because, well, my husband loves it, and my sister, and actually me too. As well, I'll be making a shit ton of deviled eggs. So, quick pro tip, and this is pretty important. This Penzi Spices smoked Spanish paprika, way better than your McCormick bullshit. One thing that makes a huge difference in the taste of your recipes, even the simplest ones, which all of these are really, really easy, are the actual spices. Investing in some quality spices will actually do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. So do that. And there they go. 2 dozen eggs. Yeah, that's going to be a shit ton of deviled eggs. Now, the reason I'm putting this white wine vinegar in with the eggs while they boil, aside from just being, fucking fancy, is because when the eggs are done boiling, they'll be a lot easier to handle, crack open, etc., etc. And the reason for the white wine specifically, well, it's because I don't have any vinegar, normal-ass vinegar, and, YOLO. P.S. That vinegar trick? Pro tip. So, once this actually gets to boiling, what you're going to want to do is let that thing boil for about a minute, and then simmer it on low. Now that it's simmered for a minute, you're going to want to turn the heat off, cover it, and let it sit for about 14 minutes. So yeah, while that sits, we'll get started on the cranberry sauce, because that's really damn easy, and it's one less thing off the plate. One thing you need in cranberry sauce is lemon zest, or orange zest, whatever. These are some lemons from my tree. Look how big this fucker is. Probably wondering what I mean by zesting a lemon, and this is pretty much it. Take a couple of peels. I'm going to cut that in a second, make some lemon juice and peels, and boom, zest. Alrighty, so ingredients are prepped. I threw some frozen cranberries into the pot, reserving a few, because, well, I'll show you later. And then boom. And boom, sugar and lemon zest. Sugar and lemon zest. Sugar and lemon zest. Ooh. Okay, so pro tip. The reason you want to reserve a few of these cranberries or whatever is because, like, these fuckers explode. They do. Explosion. So in these, the first batch of them, they get cooked, start exploding and, like, turning into liquid and stuff. You still have that, so that it actually looks like cranberry sauce, and you can add them later. Add sugar. Hopefully it won't explode. Add your zest. Ugh. YOLO a little bit of water up in that piece. And start stirring it in. When you YOLO your water, you kind of want it at this very beginning stage to look like this, so that they can explode properly. Anyway, once the sugar dissolves, it's going to take about 10 minutes for these things to explode. You just kind of want to, like, keep stirring it occasionally and stuff. Okay, the 10 minutes isn't up yet, but I'm going to YOLO, like, a little bit of sugar, because I don't like the consistency of it so far. Yeah. Alright, so at the end of 10 minutes, it should look like that. It's not all the way exploded yet, and you want to crank that thing to, like, a medium instead of low. Like that. Woo! There they go. Get it the right texture, you want to, like, have this kick it at medium for about 12 minutes. So it's about the 8-minute mark, and as you can see, by stirring it, texture is quite a bit different, and these fuckers are exploding. Yeah, boy. Alright, now we have a good cranberry sauce base. It's pretty thick. Some of them haven't exploded, so I'm just smashing them a little. Yeah. At this point, what you want to do is reduce it to a low simmer and add your reserved cranberries. So, yeah, quite a difference, eh? Stir it. I'm going to get fancy this year and add, like, a drop of this stuff. And now we plate it. Looks pretty good. Natural, healthy. Woo. Okay, so now that the eggs are like just chilling there and the cranberry sauce is like done and out the way, I'm gonna cut up a bunch of my stuffing ingredients. Whilst prepping the ingredients for the stuffing, I realized that there's a little thing you should know about spices, especially thyme, thyme, however you pronounce it. Flavor is very important with your spices. I think I illustrated that a little earlier, but what you want to do when you're dealing with the fresh spices, basically, even when you pull the thyme off the stems, and you do that thoroughly, you still want to chop it up. There's a good reason for this. Basically, you've removed it from the stem, but the flavor is still in the actual leaves. So a fine chop will release it. One thing I'd like to do actually is get like a grinder that's essentially like a pot grinder, but for these purposes. You basically want that to turn into that. That'll release the most flavor, and it's definitely worth the time and effort to do so. Just in case you haven't noticed the theme here yet, you definitely want to include a lot of different colors in your dishes, for sure. We got the different colored peppers, and we got the different colored carrots. Basically, you want this to be a gay-ass rainbow of fucking flavor. Aside from all these different colors adding different tastes and flavors to your dishes, they pretty much also add a bunch of different nutrients. Alright, so for the stuffing, we have all of the ingredients pre-cooked. Carrots, bell peppers, celery, and we got some walnuts right here. The stuffing is pretty much going to be like the Pride Parade of flavors. It looks really cool. I love colors in food. Also note that a lot of this different stuff has like different textures, so obviously you got to cook it at different times. So garlic, and those are going to be... Now you want to add the garlic, kind of stir it around so it makes a nice little buttery garlic butter. And once it's nice and soft and fragrant, we're going to add these rainbow carrots, since they are the hardest thing and need to be softened. Oh yeah. Now that it's been cooking for about 12 minutes, it feels soft, smells fragrant. I'll add some celery. At this point, the celery is in there. You're going to add a little salt and pepper to taste, but I literally just added it in. I'll do that, and boom. So now we add the walnuts and the bell peppers and mix around. And we're going to do this for about 3 minutes. Hi! You look happy. Where's your turkey? Where's your turkey? Where's your turkey? Hint, it's right in front of you. So now, literally, the easiest part. I'm going to follow the friggin' directions on the back for 2 bags of this stuff and then add my ingredients. I mean, what the hell is stuffing? It's literally dried ass bread that you add water and butter to. This is what makes it. That. So here we go. Butter's melting, water's boiling, fresh spices. Boom! And that is the stuffing. It's not done yet, though. I didn't like the directions on the box. I think that they use way too small amount of liquid, so I'm heating up some more liquid. This way I can pour it over the top, let it sit for a bit, and it'll be moist. Ugh, I hate that word. Ugh. Okay, extra water was YOLO'd in there, and now you can see it's so nice and rainbowy and pretty, and it's tasting amazing. I'm going to cover it and let it chill. Alright, so it's time to take a break. I have my partner peeling the eggs and all that kind of stuff because deviled eggs is up next, but I hate peeling eggs. Alright, so our eggs have been deshelled, and our next step is to rinse them with cold water. And I mean Antarctica kind of water. The reason we want to rinse them with the cold water is so they're a lot easier to cut in half, and so you don't have casualties in this next step like those 3. So now we want to cut them in half. Because of the cold, as you can see, it's like a perfect cut, and I use one of these guys. Like, this thing is awesome. It's sharp. Use something sharp. And because I'm using one of these, more often than not, once I make the cut, the yolk's right there. So, throw the yolk in the bowl, if it'll come. So now that we have our egg halves, what I'm going to do now is lightly rinse the leftover yolk out of them. You don't have to, I'm just... Okay, so now that we've got our egg yolks and our egg shells, I don't even know, separated, what we want to do now is we basically want to smash these yolks with a fork. It's very hard to take video of this. And make them into little crumbles. I'll show you. And completed crumbled yolk. Just mash it on the side with the fork. So now I just pop the ingredients in there. I've got 3/4 a cup of mayo, 3 teaspoons of white wine vinegar, and 3 teaspoons of yellow mustard, just normal ass yellow mustard, a pinch of salt and pepper. Boom! You pretty much keep beating it along the sides in your bowl till all these stupid lumps are out. Now we take a teaspoon, our reinvented yolk, and pop it in there. So now that these halves are filled with our reinvented yolk, pretty much just sprinkle a little salt and paprika on it. And done. I did just like a teeny tiny bit of salt and mad paprika because that's how I roll, but do whatever you will. So now the last thing to do is to plate everything. Took the stuffing that was in there, put it in this casserole, spread it out all even like, and now it's pretty much ready to travel. The reason I made this moist, I should note, is because this is not the final destination of it. The last step for the stuffing will happen at another house, but basically you're going to just pop this in the oven for about 10 minutes so that the top of it gets nice and crispy. Eggs are currently cooling in the fridge, but this is pretty much what we got. These two things and the eggs, and we're good to go. Happy Thanksgiving.